Welcome to Miami, Florida. Tonight's game is between the St. Louis Rams and the Denver Broncos. Dick Enberg here alongside Dan Fouts. Dan, what do you think of this game?
Thanks, Dick. I'm looking forward to an exciting football game because I don't think these teams really like each other too much, and they'll show that on the field.
Thanks, Dan. And the third man in the booth is Ian Eagle. Ian, what does Denver need to do here?
They just have to let their offense get it done for them, Dick. They're explosive, talented, and they can score in bunches.
The Broncos will defend the North Pole.
Number 1 kicks this one off. He's across the 20. Stiff arms. 31 yards on the return.
With the kick return.
Now we have 1st and 10. Number 12 drops to throw. He finds his mark.
Great job by the receiver here. He gets the proper depth on his route, gets his head turned around, and makes a nice catch in traffic.
St. Louis in the I formation, 1st down and 10. They go with the ground game. And he's tackled at midfield. That'll bring up 2nd down. It's now 2nd and 6. Keep it on the ground. And he manages about 9 on that run.
On the run.
They go with the ground game. Past the 40.
The key to that play was the offensive line cut off the pursuit angles, allowing the back to pick up huge yardage.
Can't connect. Incomplete pass.
The first rule of playing receiver is to catch the ball before you start to run with it. Just a drop there.
You're right, Dan. No other way to put it. Number 12 going to the air. Caught by the wideout. And he's tackled after a 1st down pickup. Now we have 1st and 10. Number 12, back to pass. Complete. And that'll be a pickup of 10. They keep it on the ground. 5! Touchdown, Rams!
There's just no substitute for raw ability. The back saw the daylight on the perimeter, and he took it.
Number 8 to attempt the point.
Number 8
after.
to try the extra point. The kick is good.
Point after is good.
Number 8 kicks it off. "27 yards on the return."
Kick return.
Tonight, we have a special clash between the Baltimore Ravens and the Seattle Seahawks. Dick Enberg here alongside Dan Fouts. Dan, what do you think of this game?
Thanks, Dick. Look for this thing to be a little lower scoring than expected. The wet field will see to that.
Thanks, Dan. And now here's the third man in our booth, Ian Eagle. What does Seattle need to do in this game, Ian?
Dick, they're going to try and ride their offense to victory here. They can pound it or go up top. Either way, they're tough.
The Seahawks will defend the zone.
Number 2 kicks this one off. Crosses the 15. 25 yards on the return.
With the kick return.
Soft hands, good completion. And that completion will get them the first. Baltimore from their own 33, first down and 10. They go with the ground game. Run good for 2 yards.
Nice run, but it was just a case of excellent defensive pursuit, tracking down the ball carrier before he could head up the sideline.
Yeah, they swarmed all over him there. Now we have 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. 12 yards on the play.
The back hit the line flying, and why wouldn't he? The hole was huge, and there was nothing but green turf ahead.
Yeah, Dan, he sure was flying. I can see the smoke from up here.
Red 33. Hut.
Number 17 looking to throw. He makes a great throw. That completion gets them the first.
To number 84.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Now we have 1st and 10.
Blue 35. Hut.
They go with the ground. Loses it. The defense has the ball.
Just lost the handle, Ian, and the defender was in the right place at the right time to recover.
Turnovers always seem to come back to haunt you, Dan. We'll see if that's the case here.
Now we have 1st and 10.
378. Hut.
Number 1, back to throw. Hits him in the flat. And he's tackled near the 30. That'll bring up 2nd and short. It's now 2nd and 7. We're here in the first quarter. They keep it on the ground. And that one goes for about 7 yards.
On the carry.
Stop me. Blue 78. Hut.
Number 1, back to throw on pass is intercepted.
The quarterback threw that thing up for grabs, and the defender comes away with a huge play.
3 yards on the interception return.
To Tulane Stadium. Today's matchup is between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. Dick Enberg here alongside Dan Fouts. Dan, what do you think of this game?
Thanks, Dick. I hope the players have their long spikes on. The rain is going to make footing a little treacherous out there.
Thank you, Dan. And now let's welcome the 3rd member of our team, Ian Eagle. What's the key for Tennessee in this one, Ian?
The Titans have to let their defense set the tone early in this one. If they can get a stop or a turnover early, they'll be in good shape.
Number 3 kicks it off. Touchback. They'll start from the 20-yard line.
Come out to the 20-yard line.
It's now 1st and 10.
38. Hut.
Soft hands, good completion. He crosses the 35, 15, 5, touchdown!
The defender was all over him, but he somehow came up with a touchdown catch.
Number 2 to attempt the point.
Number 2 sets up for the extra point try. And the extra point is good. The Vikings moved right down the field, got 7 points. That's a great way to start the game. Number 2 kicks this one off. The kick is sailing toward the end zone. They'll put it in play at the 20.
Touchdown.
Now we have 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back. Right.
They keep it on the ground. Past the 25. Run good for 17 yards.
On the run.
We're too good, man.
It's now 1st and 10.
25.
Welcome to NFL Game Day 2004, the most exciting game around, where players, footballs, and maybe even a few referees will be flying around the field. Today's game is between the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm Dick Enberg, and with me in the booth is former NFL great Dan Fouts. Dan, what should we look for in this one?
Hey, this is one of those games that make all the hard work and sacrifice worth it. This has all the makings of a classic.
Thank you, Mr. Fouts. And now let's welcome the third man in the booth, Ian Eagle. Ian, what does San Francisco need to do to get the win here?
The 49ers have got to rely on that stout defense of theirs. It's hard enough to score against these guys, let alone beat them.
Number 14 kicks it off. "20 yards on the return."
With the kick return.
Move. 17. Hot. Hot, hot. Hot.
Number 12 going to the air. Soft hands, good completion. And he was brought down, but he made the first down.
Here we go.
It's now 1st and 10. We're here in the first quarter.
Hot.
They go with the ground game. He hammers the defender, and he manages about 3 on that
By
run.
number 42.
Move. 17. Hot. You want hot.
Number 12 back to throw. Incomplete. That pass intended for the wide receiver.
25, the intended receiver.
You got it, look.
It's now 3rd and 6.
Hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot.
They keep it on the ground. And he's tackled after a first down pickup.
We're too good, man.
Now we have 1st and 10.
Hot, hot. Move, move. Hot. Hot, hot.
Complete. And he gets tackled, but makes the first down.
First down, baby. First.
They go with the ground game. And he's tackled near the 30. That'll bring up second and short.
That's the way.
Now we have second and 2.
17. Hot. Hot, hot. Hot, hot.
Incomplete pass.
Whoa, that drives a coach crazy. You got a perfect play called, and everybody executes it except the receiver.
The Raiders now with the 7th play of this drive.
Hot, hot. Hot, hot.
Number 12 looks downfield on third down. Incomplete. The quarterback in whiteout can't connect.
Number 11.
The Raiders readying for a field goal that will give them the lead.
Hot, hot.
The kick is up. And it doesn't have enough distance.
Field goal is no good.
San Francisco from their own 34, first down and 10. They keep it on the ground. And he's tackled near the 40. That'll bring up second down. San Francisco from their own 37, second down and 6. They go with the ground game. Crosses the 40, past the first. And he's finally taken down near midfield. That'll bring up a first down. The 49ers start this play from the 49. They line up in shotgun formation. He finds his man. 22 yards on the play.
This defense is going to have to shore up their secondary. They're getting torched on this drive.
They should drop more people into pass coverage. Maybe some dime and nickel defenses would help.
Now we have first and 10.
35. Hot, hot. Hot, hot.
Number 16 looking to throw. Finds a hole in the middle of the defense. 16 yards on the play.
55.
Here we go. Blue 45. Hot, hot, hot.
Number 16 going for touchdown.
Coaches in the booth saw something they could exploit, and it worked. Nice play.
The cheerleaders are on the sidelines, players are on the field, and the fans can hardly sit still. Welcome to NFL Game Day 2004. Today's game is between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg here alongside Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Dan, what does New Orleans need to do to come away with a win?
The Saints need to be conservative on offense early and just allow their strong defense to get them the ball in good field position.
Thank you, Mr. Fouts. And now let's welcome the third man in the booth, Ian Eagle.
Thanks, Dick. No matter how you talk it up, it's obvious that these fans expect great things in this one. They're going to go bananas.
Number 7 kicks this one off. Touchback. They'll start from the 20-yard line.
Ball will come out to the 20-yard line.
Carr from the shotgun formation. They go with the ground game. Mack, they've got it.
It didn't look like he got hit that hard, Dick. Regardless, he lost it, and now he's getting an earful from the coach on the sideline.
As he should, Dan, because there's no excuse for laying the ball on the turf.
Carr steps under center for this second down play. They keep it on the ground. He crosses the 25, and he manages about 5 on that run.
36.
The Saints want to hold here on 3rd and 1. They go with their base 4-man front. Carr looking downfield. It's picked off.
I know that wasn't a very good throw, but the receivers got to help out the quarterback a little bit. Fight for the darn ball.
Gain on the interception return.
It's now 1st and 10.
45.
They go with the ground game. Past the 50. And that'll set up a second down.
By Jay Foreman.
Red, 25.
Number 1 drops to throw. Incomplete. The quarterback and running back unable to connect.
Intended receiver.
Blue, 35.
Number 1 looking to throw. The wideout snags it. And he was brought down, but he made the first down.
Yeah, that's right, man.
It's now 1st and 10.
25.
Number 1 back to pass. Complete. Gain of 15 yards on the play.
To number 82.
keep it on the ground. He manages a couple there.
3-yard gain on the run.
Under 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. They go with the ground game. Lowers his shoulder. And that run will set up 3rd and long.
26.
Blue 25. Hood, hood. Hood. Hood, hood.
Touchdown!
Not a lot of room to throw the ball down here, but the quarterback makes a quick read and delivers the ball with good accuracy on that play. Great job.
Number 7 to attempt the point.
Number 7 sets up for the extra point try.
Hood, hood.
He hits the point after.
The point after is good.
Number 7 kicks it off. He crosses the 25. 33 yards on the return.
Kick return.
The Texans, in the I formation, they're just inside the 30. Carr going to the air. And the tight end can't haul it in.
That was just a lack of concentration there.
Intended receiver.
From the Big Easy, welcome to the cavernous Louisiana Superdome. Today's game is between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Green Bay Packers. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg, and with me in the booth is Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Fouts. Dan, how do you see this one?
A pleasure as always, Dick. I don't know how this game's going to turn out, but one thing is for certain. Weather in the dome won't be a factor.
Thanks, Dan. And the third man in the booth is Ian Eagle. What's the key for Green Bay, Ian?
The Packers will use their varied offensive attack to put this defense on its heels early, looking to create as much distance as possible.
Number 17 kicks it off. Crosses the 15. 33 yards on the return.
With the kick return.
Cincinnati from their own 26, first down and 10. They keep it on the ground. Run good for 4 yards.
On the tackle.
Great timing there, Dick. The men up front got a hat on a hat, and the back flew through the hole for a good pickup.
You're right, Dan. The back hit the line at just the right moment. Now we have 2nd and 5. Number 14 looking downfield. Soft hands, good completion.
The defender really shouldn't hang his head after that play. That was just a nice catch by the receiver.
Now we have 1st and 10. They go with the ground game. And he's tackled at the 46. That'll bring up 2nd and long.
With the rush.
It's now 2nd and 10. Number 14 has all day.
Pass broken up by number 40.
Number 14 to the air on 3rd down. Hits him on the long pass. 24 yards on the play. It's now 1st and 10. We're here in the 1st quarter. They keep it on the ground.
That big 3rd down pass back in their own end kept this drive alive. Let's see if they can build on it.
If they can, that 3rd down conversion was the key to the whole drive. There's no doubt about it.
Number 14 lets it fly. Make touchdown Bengals!
Huge play. The receiver did a little shake and bake and broke free for 6.
Number 3 to attempt the point.
Number 3 for the point after touchdown. Right down the middle, good.
The point after is good.
Number 3 kicks it off. Past the 20. 27 yards on the return.
The kick return.
It's now 1st and 10.
Block him! Block him! Here we go, defense!
They go with the ground game. Running up the middle. And he manages about 1 on that run.
Great timing on that tackle there. He waited until the last minute, then exploded for the big hit.
Yeah, and he had the power to make that timing count. Ouch. It's now 2nd and 8. They keep it on. Fumble! The defense picks up the ball.
That's not like him, Dick. He's got to be kicking himself for laying the ball on the turf.
Yeah, but the play's over now. He's got to hope his defense can stop them here.
Today's game is between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg here alongside Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. How do you like Atlanta's chances, Dan?
The Falcons would like nothing better than to throw early and often in this one, Dick. That's their bread and butter.
Thank you, Mr. Fouts. And now let's welcome the third man in the booth, Ian Eagle.
Thanks, Dick. One thing is for certain. Whatever happens in this game, these fans are rocking and ready to roll.
The Steelers will defend the South Bowl.
Number 9 kicks it off. They'll put it in play at the 20.
Touchback. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line.
Green, 48. Come on, defense. Let's go. Here we go, defense.
They keep it on the ground. Run good for 5 yards.
When the offensive line can work cohesively as a group, that's the kind of play you're going to see. Well done.
Yeah, Dan, they just moved out the defense on that play.
It's now 2nd and 4. We're here in the first quarter. Number 14 drops to throw. The wideout brings it in. And he gets tackled, but makes the first down. Atlanta from their own 36, first down and 10. Number 14 lets it fly, complete to the wide receiver. And he's tackled after a first down pickup. They go with the ground game. Spinning. He spins. 16 yards on the play.
On the carry.
It's now 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. Hurdles. That run will get them the first.
On the run.
It's now 1st and 10.
Touchdowns are easy when the defense is that porous.
Number 5 to attempt the
Number
point
5
after.
to try the extra point. The kick is good.
Point after is good.
Number 5 kicks this one off. Crosses the 20. 28 yards on the return.
With the kick return.
Now we have 1st and 10. They go with the ground game. He hurdles. And he's finally dragged down near the 35. That'll bring up a first down. It's now 1st and 10. On the field, and the fans can hardly sit still. Welcome to NFL Game Day 2004. With Dan Fouts, this is Dick Enberg. Dan, what do the New York Jets need to do to get the win here?
The Jets have a collection of big and nasty men up front on defense, so the running backs better have their helmets strapped on tight.
Thank you, Dan. And now let's welcome the third member of our team, Ian Eagle. Ian, what do the New York Giants need to do to get the win here?
Dick, they're going to try and ride their offense to victory here. They can pound it or go up top. Either way, they're tough.
Number 3 kicks this one off. They'll put it in play at the 20. It's now 1st and 10. Number 11, back to pass. Incomplete. The quarterback in whiteout can't connect.
Great closing speed there, Dick. The receiver looked open, but the defender bridged the gap to make the play.
They go with the ground game. 11 yards on the carry.
The offensive line took it upon themselves to send a message on that play, and I think the defense heard that message loud and clear.
You're absolutely right, partner. Message received. It's now 1st and 10. Number 11, back to throw. He finds his man, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Here we go.
It's now 1st and 10. Number 11, looking to throw. Hauled in by the wide receiver. 7 yards on the pass.
The defense must have been looking for a run on that play because nobody was near the receiver there.
Yeah, Dan, in this league, you have to be ready for run or pass on every single down, especially against these guys. It's now 2nd and 2. They keep it on the ground. Hurdles. 29 yards on the play.
25 on the tackle.
Number 11 to throw on first. Incomplete pass.
The offense has got to be thinking touchdown here. Anything short of that would be a disappointment.
New York with double tight ends. 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Giants!
Monster touchdown play there. The quarterback got the coverage he wanted, and 6 points as a result.
Number 6 to attempt the point
Number
after.
6 will attempt the extra point. He knocks it through.
The point after is good.
Number 6 kicks it off. The kick is long, and the return man picks it up around the 10. 14 yards on the return.
With the kick return.
New York from their own 21, 1st down and 10. Number 12 drops to throw. He lets it go. The running back brings it in nicely.
Number 58 with the tackle.
You got it, love.
It's now 2nd and 11. We're here in the 1st quarter. Number 12 takes his time. Incomplete pass to the wide receiver.
Now that's a result of good scouting, Dick. The defender knew the down and distance and anticipated the route. Great job.
Yeah, Dan, it just goes to show that all that preparation during the week pays off on game day.